Well, hello and good day to you all. My name is Dimitri Frederick, and you're watching Voices for the Voiceless, a Frederick Media production and a subsidiary of Frederick Capital. Today is February the 8th, 2013, and today's show is entitled Brick and Mortar Going Out of Business Sale. And today's show is actually focused on the brick and mortar industry and what's happening to it in the last few years. And in particular, we're going to look at this past summer and my experience and what I saw. And I want to actually, in light of this topic, I think this show is fitting as to what happened this week, as the post office announced that they will be shutting down Saturday services coming this August. And so you can see that the brick and mortar old school, old businesses that's been around for, maybe 25 plus years, that's the time frame that we're really talking about by these old brick and mortar businesses that's been around, prior to that time, a long time, and had a lot of success. But we're at a point where we are in the 21st century and we're at the tipping point where things are changing and moving more towards a digital type of business frame. And that's going to be one of the key things that I talk about in my book coming up this coming summer, Why Entrepreneurship, and I'll talk about that a little bit in relation to this topic. But the post office decided to cut back on the services as well as they continue to increase the cost of stamps is part of the ongoing issues that we look at big brick and mortar businesses and why they are failing, because they're not doing the things necessary to survive. And that's the point of today's show. So let's get started. Over the summer of 2012, I was paying attention in particular at the reason why so many local small town businesses are slowly closing down shop. And it has a lot to do with big businesses coming in and taking over. It sure is a sign that our economy is changing. We are in a new century of how business is being done. And a lot of old school businesses owners in particular do not understand what is happening to their way of life. A lot of small businesses are stuck trying to stay above water instead of thinking about expanding and offering a wide variety of services to their clientele. Part of the problem is that a lot of these old school brick and mortar companies have only relied on the word of mouth advertisement and the commitment of their loyal customers coming back to them. They don't think about what better deals their competitors have to offer those same customers that they are competing for, or that their customers' taste or style are also changing with age. And last but not least, which I believe is one of the most important one of all, they are not attracting the new blood, which is the lifeblood, meaning they are leaving way for a new generation of savvy shoppers and internet deal seekers to be swept up. If local businesses are not looking at the internet for survival, then they will definitely be out of business in the coming 2 years left as baby boomers begin to retire in droves. If you look at the post office, for example, what's killing them is the way we communicate online. We don't need snail mail anymore. And had the post office realized those things and changed, just like FedEx, UPS, and DHL continue to do business, they would have survived long after the fact. But there's also a lot in between that, which I talk about in my book, Why Entrepreneurship, and it has a lot to do with benefits, retirement packages, that as we love government jobs, was so much forthcoming of the best jobs that you want to have, that they give too many perks and now they are paying for those perks. And that's a different show for different Nevertheless, if you do not change how you do business, you will be out of business yourself. More importantly, you will find yourself ancient history like the dinosaurs. So do yourself and your family a favor. Learn to adapt and embrace change. Look at the blizzard of 2013. It's a perfect example. Today, right now, today's Friday, the 8th of the new year, February, and we have the first storm of Massachusetts or New England coast, and it's been 35 years since we had a last blizzard of this magnitude. And so in this day and age, this 21st century, with the capability of the internet, if you are a business owner right now, you're watching this, you have to ask yourself this simple question. How diversified is your business? Are you going to pay the price of having to have your business closed for 2 days? Because Massachusetts, for example, has considered this to be a state of emergency. So there's no businesses that's going to be open today, Friday, and as well as Saturday. So can your business afford to be closed? As opposed to if you had diversified your business, had several franchises, had, even your brick and mortar business as a franchise be in different locations where we're talking about. Being able to actually conduct business where it's not going to impact you because one business, one store was closed down because of weather, because of bad, hail, rainy days, tornadoes, wherever you are in your state. We all go through these bad weathers. But how diversified is your business that it will not force you to go out of business because of one instance, one event that happened? And that's how important the internet is. And that's how important these big businesses are creating wealth for themselves, because they understand leverage and how to do business in the 21st century, versus you are holding on to that one piece of business that you started a long time ago and hoping that you're going to still be around. And that's the difference. From the looks of things, the only businesses that will survive this tough economy are those who are heavily franchised and are well diversified in the way they do business, package their products, and cut costs down. Look at Target, CVS, McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, reality TV shows even, and as well as eBay, and how they have done what they have done, while mom and pop businesses are still selling old materials or the usual brands that has not changed in the last 10 years. These are all the trends that cannot be ignored. Let me go back and explain to you. Target, for example, and CVS, these are two typical brick and mortar businesses that's leverage. But have you noticed within the last few years that they have added a grocery store services, other products that they don't usually sell? Target is just a clothing outlet store, have a little jewelry here and there, and toy stores and stuff like that for children. But have you noticed how much they've added these additional things? So they are taking market share from the Walmarts, the Stop and Shops, the Shaws, all these food industry service companies. They're taking market share from them. CVS did that a few years ago, and I hadn't stopped in the CVS in a while, and I was shocked to see that they even cut the automatic checkouts with the employees, and that talks about a different issue of employees being laid off and why you need to be in business for yourself. But what to my surprise was they had automatic checkout counters, and probably one or two employees left, and while they had 4 automated systems so you could check out yourself. That's, again, staying ahead of the game. They've added different food services. They even Target, like I said, this past summer, they actually added a whole row. They invested in themselves, R&D, and actually added a whole row to have a grocery section be added upon their store. Again, that's smart business, and these brick and mortar businesses are not doing those things. Look at McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, same thing. McDonald's now is offering coffee because they know that the average person will spend more time at the McDonald's franchises versus just simply coming to get breakfast or lunch and just be out on their way to wherever they're going. Dunkin' Donuts is the same thing. They went from being just a Dunkin' Donuts brand of selling donuts to now their primary method of wealth creation is not donuts. It's actually selling coffee to people. And that's why McDonald's and Dunkin' Donuts are trying to still get market share from who? Starbucks, who's been known for what? Coffee. And Starbucks is doing the same thing likewise and offering pastries and other services to their customers. That's how you diversify your business. You look at reality TV shows, you may not be even thinking about how reality TV shows could be applied to this philosophy, but it does. When I've been watching some of the things that reality TV shows are doing, now let me be clear, those are the smart people who's not just wasting their time doing reality TV show, making themselves look, horrible. And sometimes I think it's insulting to your culture, see the nonsense that goes on these reality TV shows, and very disrespectful. But those who are smart, those who are really business savvy, they actually are selling their products, talking about their business, their line of clothes, other things or services. When I think about reality TV show, the one show that comes to mind is the Atlanta Housewives. And also now I call them the basketball ex-wives. They're all smart ladies and business savvy women that are using the airtime that they have to promote other things that they're doing on the side. So they are very well-rounded people versus just being another person doing a reality TV show that will eventually run out of its time and favor. Same thing, you look at eBay. For years, eBay has been a breadwinner of selling goods that you don't want, knick-knack stuff online. And for the last few years, I've attended some seminars and got educated on what eBay is doing. And they're doing the same exact thing. They're taking now quality products and rebranding themselves to be a well online services for you to trade products and services from companies, not just what's in your garage warehouses of junk that you don't want no more, but quality of stuff that people really want to buy. Again, part of the whole process of being savvy in the 21st century to do business. So before I forget, I plan on covering MLM and direct selling at a later time. They themselves are not exempt from the brick and mortar fatality. I have a 4-part series that I have been working on, so look for it in a few months. And the reason I say that because there's a lot of network marketing companies today that I don't believe deserve to be a network marketing company. There's going to be a lot of junk companies out there that's putting nonsense products and services just to make money. And you will be a victim to them. And we're going to be talking about those in the next coming months because it's something very important. Because, the way I look at it, imagine that you are going on the freeway, or, if you don't have a turnpike, think about a highway. But in Massachusetts, the East Coast, there's a lot of turnpikes that you have to pay tolls in. So imagine two things, you don't have enough money, you happen to get in the toll roads, and you shortchange. What do? Secondly, imagine this, think about the car that you're driving. Is that car reliable to get you from point A to point B? And that's the point of what I'm trying to make you understand when it comes to network marketing in the future. Because is that vehicle that you're driving right now is going to be successful in the next 5 to 10 years to help you survive this economy that we're going to be going into? Because a lot of these MLM businesses are crap. And you need to be educated enough and properly understand the value of the product or service that you're selling to know that if it will stand the test of time. Don't treat network marketing just because it's network marketing that it's leverage and that you're going to have all the money and wealth that you want because you've been hyped to believe those nonsense. Because there's a lot of things that's changing in the industry itself, just like the brick and mortar business that's going to fade out and keep a lot of people broke at the end of the day. So be smart and look for that show down the line. But this brings me to the conclusion of today's show. In regards to minority-owned businesses, I see that a lot of them are closed during the weekdays, but open in the late evenings or weekends once they get off work. Why is that? You claim to be a business owner, yet you give 8 hours of your day to your daytime job or a boss. If you could focus those same 8 hours a day having your business online, making money for you while you are at work, you would not have to be there that long. It's all about leveraging yourself, and that's the focus of today's show. And for those of you who are doing well for yourselves, you really are not thinking about the future. You are living and celebrating at the euphoria of temporary success. That is why I call the selfish generation. And that's one of the things that I talk about in my book, Wild Entrepreneurship, because it is a selfish mentality that you're living for yourself versus really focusing on legacy. What am I saying? True success is filled with abundance and is legacy driven rather than living for the here and now. Diversify your business and make it last so it can be passed on to your children's children for generations to come. This is the way you take care of yourself and your family long after you have left the earth. I am Dimitri Frederick, signing off. You've been watching Voices for the Voiceless. And as always, I hope you have been enlightened, empowered, and definitely have been educated. Take care, and God bless.